Just like the walls of Jericho, we about to break it down. I'm Run KJV, this is a little message, and this is Chris. Let's church hop. Daniel the lion's den. Pet the lions. Yeah, you're unfazed. Don't eat me. Now it's time for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Yeah. You're not on fire. You're vibing. Yeah. Now it's time to march around the walls of Jericho. Keep on marching. Blow a trumpet. God's gonna do a miracle. Now it's time for Lot's wife. Stay very still. You're a pillar of salt. You're salt, Chris! Now let's feed the 5,000. Get the bread, pass the bread, get the bread, pass the bread. Oh, here's the fish, pass the fish. Here's the fish, pass the fish. Don't eat the bread. Now it's time for the Damascus Road. Block the light, block the light, block the light. It's very bright. For beginners, cower in fear. Block the light. Now it's time for the fishermen. Ooh, reel it in. For experts, you can try walking on water. Yeah, reel it in. Ooh, reel it in. Now it's time to dodge and flee temptation. Dodge temptation, flee temptation, dodge temptation, flee temptation, dodge temptation, flee temptation, dodge temptation, flee temptation, dodge temptation, flee temptation. Now it's time to overturn the money changers. Flip the tables. Yeah, this is the Lord's house. Yeah, a house of praise. Yeah. Now it's time for the whip and pray praise. Now watch me whip. Now watch me pray pray. Now watch me whip, whip. Now watch me pray pray. Now watch me whip. Now watch me pray pray. Now it's time to raid the enemy's camp. Run to the enemy's camp. Take back what he stole from you. Run to the enemy's camp. Take back what he stole from you. Run to the enemy's camp. Take back what he stole from you. Run to the enemy's camp. Now it's time to flex on Satan. Yeah. Oh, take that, Satan. I got the strength of the Lord. For experts, push pillars. Oh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Yo, this has been Church Hop, and you've been awesome.
Carl, I've been looking for you everywhere. Wait, what's wrong?
I don't want to talk about it.
Anyway, so
Okay, I'll talk about it. All I've ever wanted was to be a CEA agent of Deep Blue. Agent Carl, taking naps and swimming laps.
Carl,
My whole childhood, I dreamt of being the top dog. A CE agent at Deep Blue HQ. Now it's all gone.
Just look at this piece
My
of
whole life is falling apart!
Carl, look at this piece of paper.
What could be so important? We got in!
They saw our tape and they loved us.
Both of us! You know what this calls for? Freeze frame!
Welcome to Deep Blue headquarters. You are here because you have been selected to be here. And you are here to simply show your worth and show if you have what it takes to be an SEA agent. My name is Sergeant Seahorse. Is there something funny, son?
No, sir.
Well, you're laughing, so there must be something funny.
Yes, no, sir. Yeah, no. I was laughing at my glasses.
Your glasses. You sure you weren't laughing at my name?
No, sir. I think Sergeant Seahorse is very funny. Cool name.
You're gonna have a hard time here, boy. All right, all aboard. It's time to train.
to day 2 of Bible Boot Camp. We're so glad that you're here joining us. It's time to get on your feet. We're going to sing and dance to some of our favorite songs.
I was lost with a broken heart. You picked me up, now I'm set apart. From the ash I am born again, forever safe in the Savior's hands. You were more than my words could say. I follow you, Lord, for all my days. Fix my eyes, follow in your ways. Forever free in unending grace. 'Cause you are my freedom. We lift you higher, lift you higher. Your love, your love, your love, never ending. Oh, oh, oh. You are alive in us. Nothing can take your place. You are all we need. Your love has set us free. Oh, oh, oh. In the midst of the darkest night, let your love be the shining light, breaking chains that were holding me. You sent your son down and set me free. Everything of this world will fade. I'm pressing on till I see your face. I will live that your will be done. I won't stop till your kingdom come. 'Cause you are my freedom. We lift you higher, lift you higher. Your love, your love, your love, never ending. Oh, oh, oh. You are alive in us. Nothing can take your place. You are all we need. Your love has set us free. Oh, oh, oh. Higher than the sky, your love is deeper than the sea. Your grace is washing over me and calling me your own, your own. Your light is burning through the shadows. I see the truth, there is nothing to fear. Your word, your way, your promise everlasting. Over and over, I see your hand. Higher than the sky, your love is deeper than the sea. Your grace is washing over me and calling me your own, your own. Your name
Picture these words, that's a Snapchat. Boomerang with the praise and the right back. Man, we higher than the sky, no turn back. If it be our last night, leave it all here. No fear, be clear, this is your year. Let go of anything that isn't God steered. Visine with a dream, and it's so clear. Yeah, so clear. And you know wherever you go, I'ma stick close, they gon' think we a duo. Bond so tight, hug it out like a sumo. And I never think twice, you the boss of my life, no, you go. And this world not down with us. They can try to limit faith, but it's down to us. Man, love so deep, not a game to us. When the blessing comes down, man, the praise go up, yeah.
Higher than the sky, your love me is deeper than the sea. Your grace is washing over me and calling me your own. Your own. Higher than the sky, your love me is deeper than the sea. Your grace is washing over me and calling me your own. Your own. We are your own.
I need to be strong in the Lord.
I need to be strong in the Lord.
The devil and I are at war.
The devil and I are at war.
To beat him, I must lead on.
To beat him, I must lean on.
God's death and resurrection.
God's death and resurrection.
Bible boot camp is the best.
Bible boot camp is the
It
best.
puts our math skills to the test.
It puts our math skills to the test.
When I feel like I can't go on.
When I feel like I can't go on.
In my weakness, God is strong.
In my weakness, God is strong.
I need to be strong in the
I
Lord.
need to be strong in the
The
Lord.
devil and I are at war.
The devil and I are at war.
To beat him, I must lead on.
To beat him, I must lean on.
God's death and resurrection.
God's death and resurrection.
Bible boot camp is the best.
Bible boot camp is the
It
best.
puts our math skills to the test.
It puts our math skills to the test.
When I feel like I can't go on.
When I feel like I can't go on.
In my weakness, God is strong.
In my weakness, God is strong. All right, boys and girls, today we're going to show you our memory verse for the week. It's from Ephesians 3:18, and we're going to show it to you in sign language as a kind of cool way to remember it. All right, here's how it goes. Grasp how wide, how long, how high, and how deep is the love of Christ. Let's try it one more time just so we make sure we get it. Here we go. Grasp how wide, how long, how high, and how deep is the love of Christ. Nice work. All right, guys, another really fun way to learn our memory verse is with a song that I know that all of you already know, and you probably like it too. So we're gonna learn our song with Baby Shark with our verse on top of it. It'll be super fun. Are you ready? Here we go. Grasp how wide do 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 do, and how long do 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 do, and how high do 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 do, and how deep is the love of Christ do 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 do, love of Christ do 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 do. Ephesians 3 do 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 do, verse 18. Grasp how wide do 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 do, and how long do 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 do, and how high do 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 do, and how deep is the love of Christ do 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 do, love of Christ do 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 do. Ephesians 3 do 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 do, verse 18. Woo, good job. And that's another really fun way to learn our memory verse.
Good morning, Rat Kids. Today we're going to be learning about how our faith grows deeper when we use our gifts.
The story that we're going to be listening to is about how Jesus feeds a really big crowd.
So, here's where we are in the story. After God created the world, and after people messed up the world by sinning, and after God created a rescue plan for his children, and after he sent his son Jesus to earth as a teeny tiny little baby, Jesus was all grown up. He wasn't a teeny tiny little baby anymore. Not that when he was a baby, he was teeny tiny. He wasn't like a miniature sized baby or anything. It's like babies are already teeny tiny. He was a regular sized baby, okay? Anyway, he was all grown up and he was teaching lots and lots of people all over the place. He was teaching them how to love God and how to love people and how to be more like him. This is the story of how one day Jesus was teaching a big crowd of people. On this particular day, the crowd was about 5,000 men. Back then, they only counted the men for some reason, so really if you counted the women and the children, the crowd would be like 15 or 20,000. And really we should count the women and the children, especially the children, because in this story there's even a little boy, and he's a child, so I don't even know why we didn't count him. Anyway, on this particular day, there were lots and lots of thousands of people. Oh, and as a side note, you can read about this story in the Bible, in Matthew 14, or Mark 6, or Luke 9, or John 6. As a side note to that side note, this is the only miracle in the Bible recorded in all 4 Gospels. So that probably means it's super important and we should be able to learn something. Anyway, Jesus had been talking to this huge crowd of people all day long. See, sometimes when Jesus was speaking, people just lost track of time. They couldn't stop listening to Jesus. They wanted to hear everything that he had to say. But come on, all day is a really long time to just sit and listen. And these people were getting hungry. So the disciples went to Jesus and said, "It's getting late. Maybe we should let these people go home so they could get something to eat." But Jesus said, they don't need to leave to get something to eat. You can give them food to eat. What do you think the disciples were thinking just then? Pardon me, but what food? They didn't bring any food with them. And it's not like there were any restaurants or grocery stores nearby, although that would be pretty neat if there was like a restaurant right there in the side of the hill, right in the middle of all those people. Anyway, the disciples were looking around for some food. Remember that boy I told you about? Turns out this one boy had some food, but it wasn't like a food truck or anything. It was just his own little lunch. 5 pieces of bread and 2 small fish. Definitely not enough to feed a crowd of lots and lots of thousands of people. But Jesus was about to do something amazing. He took the bread and the fish and he thanked God for it. Pretty simple stuff, right? But then he started to split it up and pass it out to everybody. Everybody. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Time out. What the actual crazy do you think was happening inside the disciples' heads just then? What in the world was Jesus even doing? Did he really think that he was going to be able to feed thousands and thousands of people with only 5 pieces of bread and 2 small fish? It must have seemed impossible. But what the disciples didn't know is that when Jesus prayed this prayer of thanks, he was talking to his dad in heaven. And his dad in heaven is God, the one who created all the fish in all the oceans, the one who, at the beginning of time, created everything out of nothing. So making some lunch for some people was no big deal. Actually, it was a big deal because these people would have known the story of the Israelites wandering in the desert really well, and how God had provided for them for 40 years with manna, which is kind of like bread, except it's really small, so it's more like cereal, and it fell from the sky, and boy, that would be super sweet to have like cereal falling from the sky, but it would also creep me out a little bit. And there was also quail when the Israelites were wandering in the desert, and quail are like these tiny little birds. Actually, they're not tiny, they're like regular birds, and birds are already tiny, so they're still tiny, but maybe not as tiny as you would have thought. Anyway, the food that Jesus prayed over and handed out was being passed around, and people were eating, and eating, and eating. And the craziest thing happened. Even though they kept handing out bread, they never ran out of bread. And even though they kept handing out fish, they never ran out of fish. All these lots and lots of thousands of people ate as much as they wanted, and there were still leftovers. 12 baskets of leftovers. What? How does that even work when they started with so little? Not only did Jesus feed these people dinner, he gave them more than they needed. Leftovers. When the people saw Jesus do this miracle, some of them were convinced right then and there that he was the king and the rescuer that God had promised so long ago. And while it was probably pretty wild to see Jesus take these 5 pieces of bread and 2 small fish and feed lots and lots of thousands of people, it wasn't crazy at all for Jesus. It was easy. He would keep doing greater and greater miracles than that, including the greatest rescue the world would ever see. I can't wait for you to hear that story.
Man, I am really hungry.
Me too.
You're hungry too? All right, I have my lunch that I packed. But there's not much in there. Look, I only have, okay, put out your hand. That's all I have.
That's not enough for both of us.
No, it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Skittles. That is not enough for us. What are we gonna do?
Well, do you remember that story from the Bible when Jesus prayed and made a ton of food for everyone there and everyone was full?
Yes, I do remember that. But look, my bag, it's empty. You see?
Yeah.
Look, empty. There's nothing in it. But, let me see. I'm gonna try. Here we go. Oh my goodness!
Oh my gosh!
Wait, there's more! It was empty!
How did that happen?
I have so many Skittles now. I don't know that we should only eat Skittles for lunch though, Reagan.
Yeah, maybe not.
Uh-oh, I dropped one. There's so many Skittles in our bag! Reagan, when we were just doing this with the Skittles, this was really a trick. It's not real life. We have a magic trick. I'm actually going to show you how the magic trick worked in a second. But when Jesus did it, it wasn't a trick. It was actually called a miracle. And a miracle is when something happens that we can't explain at all. It shouldn't be able to happen. People can't do it. Only God can do it. And so when Jesus fed all those people in the crowd, he did it because God allowed him to and God made it happen. It wasn't a trick, it was real. And only God and Jesus can make a miracle happen. Here's how the trick works. You wanna see how the trick works?
Yeah.
All right, here's how it works. I have, really, it looks like one bag, but there's actually 2 bags. Let me show you what I mean. Right now it looks like it's empty. You can see it doesn't look like anything's in there, but it's really 2 bags. And the first bag is already kind of open in the bottom, and all the Skittles are in the second bag. That's how the trick works. So if you wanted to trick your friends or your mom or dad with this, you could try it at home.
Face to face with the younger me. All of the mistakes, all of the heartbreak. Here's what I do differently. I'd live like I'm not scared. Give when it's not fair. Live life for another. Take time for a brother. Fight for the weak ones. Speak out for freedom. Find faith in the battle. Stand tall but above it all. Fix my eyes on you. On you. I learned the lines and talked the talk. Everybody knows it, everybody knows it. But the road less traveled is hard to walk. Everybody knows it, everybody knows. It takes a soldier who knows his orders to walk the walk I'm supposed to walk. And live like I'm not scared. Give when it's not fair. Live life for another. Take time for a brother. Fight for the weak ones. Speak out for freedom. Find faith in the battle. Stand tall but above it all. Fix my eyes on you. On you. The things of earth are dimming in the light of your glory and grace. I'll set my sights upon heaven. I'm fixing my eyes on you. I'm fixing my eyes on you. I'm fixing my eyes. Love like I'm not scared. Give when it's not fair. Live life for another. times it's you I see. I put you first, that's all I need. I humble all I am, all to you. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. You're the only one, you're the only one, you're the only one that I could live for. You're the only one, you're the only one, you're the only one that I could live for. You were always, always there, every how and everywhere. Your grace abounds so deeply within me. You will never ever change. Yesterday, today, the same. Forever till forever meets no end. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. Are you having fun? Well, what we're gonna do now is we're all gonna get down nice and low. That's it, how low can you go? And we're gonna sing, you are the way, the truth and the life. Come on, let me hear ya. You are the way, the truth and the life. We live by faith and not by sight. For you, we're living all for you. Up a bit higher. You are the way, the truth and the life. We live by faith and not by sight. For you, we're living all for you. You are the way, you are the way, the truth and the life. We live by faith and not by sight. For you, we're living all for you. You are the way, the truth and the life. We live by faith and not by sight. For you, we're living all for you. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Now go take a look at our YouTube channel and find all the activities that we're going to be doing.
Also, make sure you do our daily challenge. And after you do the daily challenge, make sure you post a picture on the Rock Facebook page, because we are going to be awarding a prize tomorrow for one of the people that finishes the daily challenge. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.